In this video, I'm going to explain to you guys how I took this clothing brand from $4,000 per month in sales to $114,000 in less than 60 days. I'm Carter Murray. I own a portfolio of clothing brands that did about 10 million bucks in the last year. So in this video, I'm going to show you a micro example of how we're able to take small brands to 6 figures a month in revenue and beyond. And in full disclosure, I don't own all of the brands in the portfolio. I own a couple of them. But other than that, I'm just partnered up with them. And my job is to basically get them ready for scale, and as they scale, to help them grow. I think there's gonna be a lot that you guys can take from this. I'm just gonna explain what we did, and I think it'll apply to your brand very well if you own your own clothing brand. So I broke this down into 4 simple steps for you guys to digest and understand how we were able to approach this brand and the things we did to prepare them for scale. And then once we saw some traction, how we were able to start scaling with them. So I'm gonna share my screen with you guys, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly how we did this. And at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you guys what we're doing with them per day right now, currently, as we speak. All right, guys, so here we go. This is the screenshots of the store that we took from 4,000. You can see 4,600 bucks in a single month. And then we did $49,000 in sales the second month, and we did $114,000. Actually, this is the first month. That's the second month. So we didn't work this month. This is the first month of working, and it's the second month of working. So 60 days. And as you can see here, this is one SKU. So this was one product that we did this with. Everybody thinks it has to be complicated. It really doesn't. In our case, we've made the most money just selling one thing and doing it well. So here we go. And I'm actually going to show you the screenshots right now. I'll show you the live Shopify so you can see for yourself. All right, so here you go. You can see August of last year, 2023. That was the revenue. This is September. And this is October. So there you go. All right, so here we go, guys. We're gonna go into how we did this. This is step 1. Having a good product changes everything, and that is so true. With all of the brands we work with, it makes it a lot easier to scale whenever there's a product that people actually want to wear. Shocking, right? So we didn't design this product, but this is the framework that always works whenever we are working on a brand. It's if somebody takes a proven product, they change it by 3%. Maybe you're familiar with the Virgil Abloh 3% rule. But if you change something that people already like by 3%, it typically, I don't want to say is always a winning product, but every time we have a winning product, or every time we follow this criteria, it always produces a winning product for us. And I'll give you guys some examples. So you guys have probably seen these brands before. This is New York. They took the Birkenstock silhouette, added their own design to it, and it was a winning product. It printed. Same thing with Bravest Studios. Took the Birkenstock silhouette, everybody's loving it, added their own flair, and it was also a winning product that printed. So think along those terms of what people already like. Customer behavior is pretty predictable. So if you can take the winning product, change it by 3%, take a already winning product, change it by 3%, and it typically will produce you another winning product. At least in our scenario, in our case, this has always worked. All right, so going on to step 2. So once you have a product that could be a winner, you follow that criteria. Now it's time to create some good product focused content. So when you create good content, you want to grab attention, you want to pay down something we call customer ignorance debt. So a customer, whenever they come across your brand, however it may be, they don't know anything about your brand and they don't know anything about the product that you're selling. So the things that you want to keep in mind for creating product content, or the things that we keep in mind when we create our content, is we want to keep the product the main focus of our content. We want to start with a plain background to limit distractions, or if there is a colored background, we want to keep it pretty plain. And like I said, just keep the product the main focus. And we always want to answer any questions a customer may have about the product. So if you're marketing to an audience that has never seen your brand or your product before, like we do, we want to make sure that all of the product details are in the product pictures whenever we're advertising it. So if we're selling a t-shirt that has a print on the back, obviously we don't want to just show the front of the t-shirt. We want to show the back of it too, right? Pretty simple stuff. I'll show you guys how we do it here. There's just some examples. So as you can see here, very product focused, very not distracting backgrounds, pretty plain. And yeah, we let the product do the talking a lot of times, and it's worked very well for us. So for this brand, we made good content. We made sure that the product was the focus, and then we moved on to step 3. So step 3 is about product marketing, and I'm going to explain to you guys how we did it. So the objective here is we want to get as many eyeballs on our product as possible. The main reason being is to gather feedback. So phase one, this is really important to gather awareness or get awareness and gather feedback. So we curated the Instagram feed of the brand with good product content. We sent packages to micro-influencers and some big influencers, and we ran low budget ads to product posts and optimized for Instagram followers and website visits. So the whole point of this phase one is not to get sales. And that probably sounds counterproductive, but it pays dividends later on if you just get that awareness initially and you get the feedback to know that your product doesn't suck. So we did that. We got some followers in the process, and we saw that the metrics on the ads that we were running were crazy. Like, we were getting people to click on the ads for super cheap. And a lot of times when we see that, that's really exciting to see because we could potentially have come on a winning product. So phase two, once we got good feedback, once we saw that a lot of people were following, a lot of people were liking the post for really cheap, we were getting good feedback from potential customers, then we moved on to phase two. In phase two, we increased budgets on the ads to get more awareness. So this is where we really doubled down on we call it top of funnel ads, and I'll explain that more soon. We wanted to get more followers, more social proof. We want to get website visits to start getting data on these potential customers so we can retarget them later on. And then in step two, we did go ahead and retarget the people that were following the Instagram and engaging with the post with conversion ads. So once we found the audience of people, or once we got people to engage with the Instagram, we retargeted them with ads, because this is something that we call warm customers, people that have already seen our brand or our products, right? We want to try to get those people to buy first. And then once we got those things running, we started doing some cold audience ads. So we just started running ads to people that have never seen our brand or our product before, because we knew we were onto something. We started seeing a lot of traction pretty quickly. So we wanted to start hitting as many cold audiences as possible. So for phase three, after we saw that these low budget tests to cold audiences started selling well, so once we started selling to these customers that have never seen us before, what we started to do was sell to more cold audiences, and we started testing different things. So we wanted to create higher quality top of funnel content. So the top of funnel is what you guys see here. So whenever we approach a brand, we approach it as a business, right? We want as many people to learn about the brand as possible, right? And that is what we call the top of funnel right here on top. So this is awareness, and we want to get as many people to see the brand in the products that we're selling so that we can retarget them later and hopefully nurture them into being a customer eventually, right? So top of funnel, TOF. So what we started doing is creating high quality top of funnel content. So a lot of times what we'll do is, like brand stories, messaging, or brand messaging rather, in video formats. We'll tell a story, we'll talk about the products, we'll try to identify with a certain group of people in this content. And like I said, the objective here isn't really to get somebody to buy right away, but it's to get somebody to start to understand a little bit more about your brand and your products. Then we started creating more ad creatives for the winning product. So this is something that once we start scaling any brand, this becomes the bottleneck along with inventory. We'll get into that. But we wanted a lot of ad creatives, and we wanted to test to see what people like to see the most, obviously. So we tested new backgrounds, we tested different on-model shots, everything. We tested everything. So then we increased the budget on all ads. We tested new audience, we tested placements with the ads, we tested ages. So we wanted to see if somebody would react better to an ad on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever it may be. We want to see what platform works the best, what type of people interact with our product the best, right? And that is about it. So this was really about building out this funnel. We want as much people in the top of funnel as possible, and the more people we get in the top of funnel, as long as we nurture them the right way with our ads, we get more in the bottom of funnel too. We get more sales. So yeah, whenever we're able to take a brand to step 4, it's typically because we're onto something. So this is pretty much just about doubling down on what already works and optimizing, okay? So step 4, optimize and prepare for scale. So the objective here is to improve something called the LTP to CPA ratio, right? Now that seems pretty confusing, but it's really not. So what is LTP to the CPA? So the LTP is the lifetime gross profit per customer. So that is basically how much does a customer make you over their lifetime. Okay, so everybody looks at ROAS, and ROAS on your ads matter, but the more important thing to look at is how much is a customer buying the first time they come, but how much are they buying the lifetime of them shopping with you? Do they come to buy again? And if so, how much do they buy for? And how can we increase that customer lifetime value to give us more money so that we don't have to pay to acquire new customers to keep making money. Hopefully that makes sense. And then the CPA is the cost per acquisition. So how much, this is pretty simple, how much does it cost to actually get a customer? So the goal here is we want to increase the LTP, the lifetime profit per customer, okay? We want to decrease the CPA, the cost per acquisition. How much does it cost us to get a customer, and how can we decrease that cost as much as possible? And if we do this, and we're constantly working to do this, we're going to be more profitable as long as we continue to double down on what already works in the previous steps. So yeah, once we have a proof of concept, that's what we do, is we try to increase the profit that each customer gets us. So how can we get them to spend more the first time they're on our site, and how can we get them to return, to be a returning customer and spend more with us throughout the lifetime? And how can we decrease and optimize the ads so that we're spending as little as possible to get this customer in the first place? So here's how we improve our profit, and these are the things that we focus on, okay? So number one, we want to get as many people to the website for as cheap as possible. Good quality people, right? We don't want just anybody coming to the site. We want people that are actually interested in what we're selling. Okay, and then how then do we get the most people on the website to make a purchase as possible? Okay, this is your website conversion rate. So we try to get your website conversion rate up. And number three is, how do we get customers to buy more? So we need to increase the average order value, okay? And then obviously number four is pretty simple and straightforward. How do you keep customers happy, right? Super important, because that is what creates repeat customers, and then in the long term, your brand is going to snowball into a giant brand. I've seen the brands that didn't take care of their customers and didn't ship out their orders from pre-order, and the customers that, or the brands that do take care of their customers. It's a vast difference. I'm telling you, it makes a world of a difference. So yeah, these are the 4 steps we took to take this brand to the next level so quickly. And we're able to do this because we do this so often with so many different brands. I know $100,000 in a month isn't that impressive, but for how quickly we grew it, you know, it was worth sharing. And hopefully you took something from this video. And if you own your own clothing brand, you're doing $30,000 a month at least in revenue, book a free call with us. It's going to be in the description of this video. My team and I will get on a call with you, and we're going to basically break apart your business, break apart your brand, what you're doing, what you can be doing better, and how you need to prepare for scale. And in full disclosure, we're trying to find the best, most quality brands to add to our portfolio so that we can take them from 6 figures a year, 7 figures a year, to 8 figures and beyond. All right, so I almost forgot to show you guys what we're doing daily with them now. And here it is. This is whopping $1,200 today. But the reason for that is because we just sold out of pretty much all the inventory unexpectedly. So that's actually not accurate. This is what we were doing right before we sold out everything, about 10,000, about $10,000 a day on average, I would say. So nothing too crazy still, but you know, not bad. All things, we've been through a lot with this brand. There's been a lot of unexpected issues and weird things that have come up, and nothing has really gone to plan. So with nothing going to plan, I'm okay with $10,000 a day right now. So yeah, hopefully you guys were able to take something from this video, and I will see you in the next one.